Hello and welcome to the Gameplay Library. My name is Ryan, and today we are going to take a quick look at Over the Hedge for PlayStation 2. So just a quick warning before we start this is a children's video game that an adult has done a review for 17 years later. That's the warning. Take from it what you will. Apply knowledge. That's all I'm saying. So, you may be asking yourself, what is Over the Hedge? Over the Hedge is an action platform game developed by Edge of Reality and published by Activision back in 2006. Like I said, 17 years ago. The game is a tie-in to the movie of the same name released by DreamWorks that year. It's set 1 year after the release of the movie, and you take control of the main character of the movie, RJ the raccoon, and a selection of other characters, mostly Vern, the nervous turtle, Stella, the relatively sassy skunk, and Hammy. Hammy, well, as I've written here, the powdered sugar powered squirrel. Yeah, we're going to just go with that. So the story of Over the Hedge is very similar to the movie itself. Our characters, RJ and company, decide that they're going to raid Rancho Camelot estates as there's a lot of food gadgets there that they wish to add to their own homes, which is reasonable for animals. These nightly raids, they result in Gladys, the president of the Rancho Camelot Homeowners Association, as we all know, they're evil, to hire Vermtech, in particular Dwayne the Exterminator, to capture the critters. He does this by using traps, lasers, and even mind-controlled rats, rabbits, bears, and other animals, with these serving as mostly as the game's enemies. They all have their own little mechanic, but yeah, they're mostly the game's enemies. The whole game boils down to a final showdown at the Vermtech HQ, where the critters finally defeat Dwayne and free their friends. So what is it like to play? So I live streamed everything here on this channel, and the gameplay itself is fairly simplistic. All the characters have a melee and a ranged attack, with some variation among the characters, just of what they throw. So, for example, with RJ, his weapon of choice is a golf club. So you can either mash people in with the golf club, or you can shoot golf balls towards the enemy. That is it. That is basically how the game works. Platforming part is also very simple. With honestly, it's just some timing on jumping sections and some getting up heights. The actual biggest thing in the game is dodging up laser grids. For some reason, Vermtech really like laser grids. You will encounter a lot of these if you ever bothered to play. They're nice and simple to do, but also actually a lot of fun. Remembering the patterns, it's good. However, the game does offer some novelty, at least when it comes to the character interaction. So the game constantly has two characters on the screen, and you can actively switch between them during the single player. But it also allows you to double team during the fighting. So you can jump from the character you're controlling onto the non-controlled character's back, and you can use both characters at once to fight off enemies. And it also allows you, and look, this doesn't matter all this time later, but it allows for couch co-op. Basically, join in, join out anytime you want. That's a pretty cool feature for the time. Another significant difference is the Forest Hub section. So this wasn't very much used and still isn't used all that much to this day, where you have a hub area and move out from there. I've basically just said that and it's a complete lie. Everything uses that today. But movie-based video game made in 2006 didn't. This did. It had the forest. And it's basically just an area where you can go, you can load in and out of missions. You also see what you've collected from the missions so far, and you can also choose to launch the mini games, all off of the same access board. It's pretty cool and a little innovative for the time. It was nice to see. So, 17 years on, how does this game hold up? And the truth is, it actually does, weirdly enough. The game, in my opinion, has very few flaws. Its main one being the fixed camera, which sometimes just puts itself in awful positions, but that is just a curse of games of the time. If they used a fixed camera, at some point it was staring at your asshole instead of where you needed it to be, so that's fine. The game is intuitive to play. It's very fun, and it took me about 8 hours to complete from start to finish. And look, I didn't go looking for collectibles, I didn't go looking to unlock all the mini games, all of that nonsense. I didn't look to do anything. I simply wanted to sit and play through the game. It took about 8 hours. And if you enjoy these older games and enjoy this type of game, you should probably consider adding this to your collection, especially if you're a PS2 collector like myself. So that's been Over the Hedge. If you've enjoyed the video, please leave a like, leave a comment on your own opinions, and subscribe if you like as well. Goodbye.